Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a ranked game in my Jutland. Going over the matchmaking. Got an Alsace, Musashi, Ibuki, another enemy Jutland, and double Kitakaze on the enemy team. One of the lessons that I want to talk about is using your HP pool. And in this game, I'm in a Jutland. I do have a repair party consumable. I've got 3 charges, and I also have a little bit more HP than a Fletcher or a Black. So you're looking at that Black there, 20,700 hit points to my 21,500. The enemy team doesn't have any radars. My team does. So what I want to do, I want to kind of hang near this Black, and I want to be a bullet sponge. If that guy's going to get shot at, I'd much rather the enemy team shoot at me. And that way, at least, I mean, we've got, repairs and stuff like that you can get in arms race anyway. But even from a random standpoint, that Black is more critical to my team that he stays alive than my ship. And my ship also has more final hit points than the Black does. So from a just common sense standpoint, I need to kind of act like a bodyguard, and just be that guy that the enemy team is gonna shoot at when both of us get spotted. Now the flip side, if you're playing and you've got destroyers that are detected by radar or whatever, and you have basically the same shot quality, same basic distance, that kind of thing, and you have to choose between a destroyer that has a repair consumable like Jutland, like Udaloy, or something like Black. You need to be sharp enough in the head that you focus down the critical target and you go after that target that has the least amount of hit points, particularly if it's really if it provides something to the enemy team that is really important, like radar. It's right up here. I just noticed this smoke screen. It's a little odd to see a smoke screen like that. So I'm not sure if they're working on a play there. So I'm just gonna throw some go away torpedoes out into that smoke, and gonna push up here in the middle. This Ibuki, he's too close to his DDs. He should be pushed back a little bit. Because when those DDs pop up, I know he's there, so I'm instantly smoking. And he can't be broadside to
torpedoes to port.
a Jutland. It's just not gonna work.
Torpedoes to port.
I think my Black's waiting to see if we can actually pick up this kill here. And maybe he used his radar earlier. But another benefit of pairing with the Black, I've got my Hydro up, and it basically spots all of the torps for my team. Jutland was an incredibly valuable destroyer for You know, not just its concealment, its gun DPM, the fast duration smokes where you could kind of hop around and keep up a faster pace of action than most other ships. I mean, USDDs, if they didn't, if they had to abandon their smoke, that basically, you know, minutes go by where it's not really safe for you to push in because you don't have that that escape outlet from a from your smoke. Now what I'm doing here, I am just circling around. We last spotted DDs over in this channel. I basically want to push up here and make sure that my Alsace isn't going to get popped. I've got issues with the Alsace's positioning because he only has very limited shots, and if you look, the enemy team is heavily in this end of the map. He should be already kiting back and just getting separation, and you know, maybe play in the middle of the map. But at this point, I'm seeing shots coming out, and I know that, you know, there's likely going to be, I think that was 5 torps unless it clipped the island. My hydro's down, so I can't push up in hydro spot whatever's doing the shooting, so I am just coming out here and seeing if I can just start something. That one hurt. 4 full pins. And that's just general harassment right there. I'm just taking pressure off that Alsace. I'm getting some shots in on that DD, and just want to make him uncomfortable. Now I'm gonna push up here and see if I can't proxy spot him, but unfortunately my Alsace goes down because, hey, you know, 32mm armor battleship. You know, let's try to bow tank a Kitakaze. And then he's going to be salty about it in chat. But, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, I saw this issue with battleships all the time. You can't tank a Kitakaze. It's not a regular destroyer. I do pop hydro just trying to get a quick spot. I get a brief spot, and I still think that there's 3 DDs there, so I don't want to, you know, stumble around this island into a goddamn hairball situation. So our black does pop radar, and I basically see that I've only got 1 DD here, but you know, it's time that I need to get out there and start going to work on things. Took a perspective shot on that Kitakaze, and got this Kitakaze here that just gonna try to help out on. And I mean, the AP on this destroyer is fantastic. It's broken as all hell. You see just how fast it, you know, that Kitakaze evaporates. And that was one of the secrets to dealing with those Kitakazes. If they went to use all their guns on you, they were wide open for just absolutely ridiculous AP volleys. But if they angled into you, they were much easier to burn down with your HE, especially with your 360-degree turrets. You just had a lot more comfort in picking those fights. You still didn't want to sit out there in the open and engage them. But one of the important things was to get those guys to smoke up in a position where they can't just sit and farm your battleships. Like when I mean the Kitakaze games that I uploaded, I really did feel with that ship that if I was allowed to choose when and where I smoked, when I smoked up, something was dying. It didn't matter, what it was, how much HP it had on it. When I smoked up, something was dead. And I would just not even joke, just latch right onto that thing, and that'd be the end of it. So it is important for destroyers to get out there and force those Kitakazes to smoke up at, you know, ranges that they can't shoot battleships, and where the 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 smoke is basically wasted because you end up disengaging. Kitakaze outside of its smoke, it's you know it's a lot easier for your team to handle rather than something that's all smoked up, use an island cover, things like that. So right here we're a ship down, and I'm just pushing ahead right now.
Torpedoes astern.
Want to try to spot for the team, and I'm just looking right now to see, who's going to be a better target. And here it comes. Got this Jutland. It's opening up on my DDs. He smokes up. Got a quick sight picture on the enemy Ibuki. Unfortunately, the Ibuki is able to put down our Musashi, and we're in a 3v4. And they've got 2 enemy DDs, 2 battleships, just to our 3 DDs. And this typically is not a good situation. This Alsace did make a sharp turn, I guess trying to avoid my torps. And that's going to put him, in a position where he can dodge the second set of torps. I shouldn't have let as much distance go by. At this point, I'm just mainly interested in just stalling this, or just spotting for my Kitakaze. But I see that this Kitakaze, he just keeps shooting superstructure. He's not gonna land any fires anywhere else. So I'm making the switch onto the Musashi. I did smoke up. This Alsace thought that he was getting away with being able to repair early. Just threw a couple shots out on him real quick.
Torpedoes astern. Fire. Torpedoes astern.
So just keep disengaging.
Torpedoes to port.
Popping hydro. Want to make sure none of my DDs eat torps. My black starts shooting, so this is time where I need to start thinking about pushing up and helping out. I see this Jutland's gonna get the reload. I'm just getting torps out on this Musashi. I'm just trying to keep this Jutland from out of the reload, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to stop him from taking it. Musashi takes a torp. That's critical because he blows his damage control there. You see him put the fires out. There's the Alsace. I've got torps in on the Musashi. That's an unrepairable flooding, and that guy's in trouble right now. Speaking of trouble, I got people shooting at me all over the place. Honestly, it hasn't even registered with me that the Musashi's flooding out. I'm just focused on staying alive right now, and gonna be a little cheeky at this point. I just noticed with the high caliber, oh, Musashi's flooding. Just gonna try to sneak in here. I pick up the Jutland, and this again is I've got the hit points to trade. My my black doesn't. Then with my team, we're able to focus off the Jutland. My smoke's already back up. I'm popping it and I'm disengaging. What was, you know, 4v2, now we're down to 3v2, and we're just keeping the pressure up. I've got a repair coming back up in 10 seconds. Plus, I'm just slowly still ticking hit points in my favor. So, you know, there's some good synergy going here. I always like to have ships that had high gun DPM, had repair parties. Try to prioritize those guys getting the repairs, because it made it much easier for you to do this job later on down the road. And you just, you know, you act like a little battleship for your other destroyers, and it pays off quite heavily. I mean, if that black had been nearly as close as I was to the enemy, he probably would have went down. The difference was that close in hit points. So this game's winding down. This Kitakaze's here behind this island. I'm looking to come around here and ambush him. Gonna slow this down. Basically, I'm thinking that this guy's gonna come around more broadside. That's why I switched to AP. I don't have Hydro, so I can't pre-spot him, but that also leaves him wondering, you know, is there anything around the corner? Unfortunately, he comes around bow on, so I throw this shot, you know, just mainly was looking for the guns, see if I can break a gun or something. Instead, you know, it just whiffed, but going ahead, pick that kill up. Hope you guys enjoyed the game, and I'll talk to you later.